This section is about elementary functions. Each function of the form g of x equals x squared minus 4, let's say h of x equals x minus 2 square, and let's say k of x equals minus 3x square can be expressed in terms of the function f of x equals x square. Okay, so all of this function can be expressed in terms of the f of x equals x square. For example, how we can express g of x equals f of x minus 4, h of x equals f of x minus 2, k of x equals minus 3 times f of x. In this section, we will see that the graph of the function g, h, and k are closely related to the graph of function f of x equals x square. Insight gained by understanding this relationship will help us analyze and interpret the graph of many different functions. So, we will talk about the graph of some elementary function. Okay, as you progress through this book, you will repeatedly encounter a small number of the elementary functions. We will identify these functions, study their basic properties, and include them in a library of the elementary functions. Okay, so this library will become an important addition to your mathematical toolbox and can be used in any course or in activity where mathematics is applied. Okay, so what is this basic functions? Let's look to basic functions or elementary functions or basic elementary function. Okay, let's say basic elementary functions. H of x, or let's start f of x equals x. This is known as an identity function. Identity function. H of x equals x square is known as a square function. M of x equals x cubed is known as a cube function. And let's continue. N of x equals square root of the x, which is square root function. And p of x equals cube root of the x is cube root function. And g of x equals absolute value of the x is known as the absolute value function. This elementary function can be evaluated by hand for certain value of x and with a calculator for all values of x for which they are defined. Okay, so by using these elementary functions, we will discuss the graph of the such type of the functions. Okay, for example, if you know the graph of the x square, how you can find the graph of the f of x minus 4, or how you can find the graph of this function or that function.